Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Both Adam Kownacki and Efe Ajagba will be coming in heavy for their respective fights on the card that is headlined by Adam Kownacki, who will be facing Robert Helenius. So a number of things to come out of the weigh-in, including a little bit of argy-bargy between Frank Sanchez and Joey Dueco. Frank Sanchez giving Dueco a bit of a love tap towards the end of their face-off. I'll come to that, some images of that. But first, Adam Kownacki, I wanted to start with him, his near-career heavyweight, and an interesting admission after the weigh-in on Twitter, responding to Keith Idec. And as a result of that exchange, I posed a few questions and Adam Kownacki responded to me as well. So first, tipping the scales at 265 pounds, 265.2. Robert Helenius, 238 pounds. So 265 is essentially a career heaviest weight. Only one weight heavier where he was 266. And that was for his last fight. That was against Chris Arreola back in August of 2019. And then after the weigh-in, Keith Idec of BoxingScene.com did talk about this on Twitter. See here on screen. Adam Kownacki came in only 3/4 of a pound lighter today, 265.25 pounds, than the career high 266 he weighed for the Arreola fight. He told me a few days ago that he felt too heavy against Arreola. Robert Helenius weighed 238.5 pounds for their fight tomorrow night. And then Adam Kownacki responds to Idec in the comment section, as you'd call it, I guess. He says, "I cut a lot of water weight for that weigh-in. I was closer to 275. And immediately that got me thinking, he was cutting water weight. What's going on here? He's a heavyweight. He doesn't have to cut weight. Why would he be 266 pounds after boiling down? And that begs the question, why would he be so heavy at 275? For what purpose? Was it an issue with training or whatever? Why was he cutting so much weight close to the fight? Did he not want to be criticized? And I summed all that up in a tweet saying that begs the question of why. You don't have to make weight at heavyweight. So was it a case of not wanting to be criticized for coming in at 270 plus? And if Kownacki was 275 on fight night, why that heavy in the first place? And I think that's a valid question. Obviously, he's been at heavier weights before. Charles Martin, that was in the 260s. He was gassing out in that one. The Arreola fight, Arreola threw a record number of punches. A version of Arreola that is far removed from his prime ended up going the distance. So you can sort of say, is this helping Adam Kownacki coming in heavier? Obviously, against Charles Martin, his stamina was tested as he faded, and Martin took over towards the end of that fight. But Kownacki still got that decision in 2018. But lo and behold, Adam Kownacki responds to my response. So he says, people look at those numbers and criticize you on what kind of shape you're in. So I was at a high, my fault and lesson learned. That's why I had a good breakfast this morning, not worried about my weight. Tune in tomorrow and judge on my performance. Adam Kownacki's response to me and my tweet asking the questions. And I still have a question about, well, why was he 275 for the Chris Arreola fight? His weight has been creeping up in the past couple of years, and I don't think that's going to be a benefit as he gets into bigger and better fights. You might be able to get past Arreola or Robert Helenius being in the mid 260s, but it doesn't bode well for bigger and better fights, especially ones that go deep and your stamina is tested. So I get what he's saying. He says he's learned his lesson and judge him on the performance, and obviously we will do so. But I did go and put together a little comparison. See here on screen. So the left, this is the weigh-in for this fight with Helenius. The right was the weigh-in for Chris Arreola. And to me, I don't notice a massive amount of difference. And he's saying for the right-hand side that he boiled down and lost about 9 or 10 pounds to get down to 266. And he's saying he did so essentially because he didn't want to be criticized. But even at 266, which was a career heaviest weight at the time, he was criticized to some extent, because the question is, why are you coming in so heavy? The extra weight doesn't necessarily help you in any way, shape or form. If anything, it can sap your strength later on as you struggle to sort of do some of the rounds at a clip that you may want to if you were, say, 250 or 255, 10 pounds lighter, 15 pounds lighter. And remembering, he looked pretty good against Artis Spilka, and that was in the low 240s. But yeah, make of that what you will. So Adam Kownacki saying that he did boil down for his previous fight, but he feels in better condition now. He had a good breakfast before this weigh-in, and this is, the left shot is of the Robert Helenius weigh-in. To me, they look relatively similar, but it begs the question, why even respond to Keith Idec? Because if you're saying you're in your 270s and you boiled down, I don't think that actually looks good. And it sort of casts, some questions about, well, what were you doing in that training camp for Areola to be so heavy? Yeah, I guess it is what it is. But another guy coming in heavy, the heaviest of his career is the co-main event fighter Efe Ajagba, who's facing Razvan Kajanu. So Kajanu, 265, relatively normal weight for him. Efe Ajagba, 242.2 pounds. So that is his career heaviest by a couple of 100 grams, and that's almost 5 pounds heavier than for his fight against Iago Kaladze. And you have to ask the question, he wants to move better. He doesn't want to be as stiff using the head. Does the extra weight actually help? And this is a career heavy. I know I've seen online a few people saying, is he an accident waiting to happen at some point? I don't think Razvan Kajanu is the guy to exploit anything like that. But I do wonder, he's going up in weight, career heaviest. Is it going to be of any value? We know that he can crack at anywhere between, 230 and 240 pounds. So going up in weight, yeah, I don't know about that. What do you make of that? Efe Ajagba, career heaviest. And interestingly, just finishing off this video, you have Joey Daweko and Frank Sanchez. That's the third fight of the televised card. There is other heavyweight fights on the card. You also have Carlos Negron facing Robert Alfonso, and Steven Torres is in a fight as well. He's a prospect. But of the televised card, the three fights, the main events, Helenius and Kownacki, Ajagba and Kajanu, and then you have Daweko and Sanchez-Fore. Frank Sanchez-Fore, who was 222 pounds. And then you have Joey Daweko, he was 247. And you could probably see here on screen, there's a little bit of heat in this sort of face-off that sort of was after the weigh-in, and actually a little bit of a pop from Frank Sanchez at Joey Daweko. Nothing major, but, he makes contact with his head. And, yeah, there really is a little bit of aggro here. Daweko saying that he doesn't think that Frank Sanchez has anything to trouble him, and if anything, he believes he's going to knock out the Cuban. So we'll see what happens there. But interesting sort of weigh-in with the admission from Kownacki afterwards, and coming in at a near career high, Efe Ajagba a career high, and the argy-bargy between Sanchez-Fore and Joey Daweko. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.